than her to answer questions. But I told her, I said, Condo should be there and he can fill in the blanks too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But okay.
Jerry said she'd come, so I hope she remembers. I didn't send her a reminder.
Yeah.
Well, I made sure to push public. I don't know where everybody is. Nope, nobody.
Well, they might though. I was seeing if Amanda sees us.
There's one person.
Okay,
Who's
good.
that?
Good.
Megan.
Because I'm hoping Amanda.
Where's our Jerry and Amanda?
That's what I was asking, because I was hoping. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, okay, I got one. I was hoping that Amanda could get like a screenshot of us, and then I can take
a screenshot. See if I can get one.
Yeah, I got one. But did you get it? You have to send it to me.
One. Oh. Okay.
Did you get it?
Not yet. Put it back on.
Back on. Okay. I'm gonna.
Okay.
Okay. You don't know how hard that is for me because I hate pictures of myself. Yeah, that's gonna give me a migraine. I have to take that. I can't get them to turn off now. There we go. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Rebecca's Mrs. Claus. I'm the elf.
You're the elf. Does everybody have a drink, a hot cocoa, a water, wine?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Let me see if I can. I'm going to try and put my AirPods in, but if you can't hear me, I'll take them back out.
Okay. When Jerry comes, Jerry sent me a little something. Maybe I can open it on live. Everybody, Buster sent us something.
It's not much, but when I saw it, I thought of you and Scott. So.
Oh boy.
Yes, Kristen, I cut my hair and I messed it up big time.
Or you taped it up good.
I realized that this is my headbutt. My earbuds aren't gonna. I realized that my scissors are dull, so Ken's gonna sharpen them up for me. Merry Christmas! Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Okay, I'm Rebecca Stout. And I'm Onni, the Cockatoos Mom. And this is Jennifer. She is Buster, the Cockatoos Mom. You can look up Buster online. He's on TikTok, isn't he?
I'm on YouTube. I mostly do YouTube. I do have TikTok and Facebook now and Instagram. I don't really post on Instagram, but I have been posting on Facebook. I got verified on there.
You got verified on Facebook?
I had to because of all the
good for you.
All the thievery. No, I have to pay for it. It's $15 a month. That's the cheapest.
It really used to be nothing.
It goes up to like thousands, but a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, the poor guy's face, man.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Buster got a hold of it, or Onni.
And it says, Merry Christmas.
Service dog. I'll send them all to Rebecca and see if she'll send them to you if she doesn't mind to do that.
Oh, there's a card.
But the one, huh?
This is Rebecca.
Oh, okay.
Is that private or no?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let me look at it. I'm not sure.
But mine is on Facebook is now verified. I have the blue check mark.
Oh, it's thinking of you because of my accident, which we will be discussing tonight. My big accident with Onni that ended me up in the ER.
Hey, Yolanda. Hey, everybody. Aren't those awesome? I know you love Ozzy, so
yes,
I got Scott a pair too.
Yes,
yeah,
love Ozzy.
It wasn't much, but I thought of you immediately.
Jerry, I got this today. Is this something I should open now or no? Who has number one? Leonie. Hondo, you're number two.
I mean, it's
And
probably something to do with the USB port. She said yes.
yes. Okay.
Service dog said yes.
A big yes.
And hi, service dog. I feel like I haven't seen him forever. Or you know what I
My
mean.
fault. I'm like not all over it to remind her.
It's all right. Well, no,
I
I mean,
about forget myself.
I mean, you needed to take your time off as well. I wanted you to.
Yeah, if I had been on before, people just would have been staring at me rather than doing the podcast.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, you were for a minute there. Oh, how cute.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. You shouldn't have done that, you guys. You guys. Let's see who's on. We got 17 people. Okay.
So I was just kind of going to start and say, how are you, Rebecca? How are you doing?
Well, tonight we're going to talk about cockatoos. Everything cockatoo.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where to start.
Well, I know a lot of people just would like to know how you're doing too.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to start with that or end with that. That's up to you.
I'll start with that.
Okay.
About a week and a half ago. Has it been a week and a half or 2 weeks or one?
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I had Onni out in his playroom with me, and he started looking at me funny, and I couldn't quite figure it out, but I thought, I'm not going to take a chance. I'm going to put him up in case this is body language, he's going to bite. So I picked him up and I started to walk him to the cage and kept looking at me. And then he started to make this little noise from his throat over and over. And I thought, this isn't right at all. I had a hold of his feet and I had him at arm's length so that he couldn't get me. He was fine. He was fine. I go to put him in his main cage in the living room. I went to put him in, and even though I was arm's length, as soon as I kind of loosened his feet to shut the door, he lurched and he got my face. He got both bottom and top lip. He tore almost like a part of the lip off. I was bleeding so bad that when we went to the hospital, it took them 8 hours to stop it. I went through towel after towel. I am on blood thinner, and I wanted to tell people, if you're on any kind of blood thinner and you get cut or you bang your head, don't go to just any hospital. I went to a pretty big hospital, and I couldn't understand why they couldn't stop the bleeding. They were going to do a blood transfusion, but I told them to wait. Can we just wait and see? And it was fine. But I went to the cardiologist yesterday, and I told him about the event and asked, can I be on less blood thinner? Because that was just a lip. I said, if I'm in a car accident, I'm going to die. And he said, we can't have you on less. He said, you're not on an exorbitant amount or anything like that. He said, but when you get cut or you have an accident, you have to come to this hospital, which is the largest one in the city, or the second largest one. He said, because most ERs don't have the equipment and the medicine to stop the bleeding. Had I made the right choice and gone to the big hospital, they would have been able to stop that bleeding. And if you bang your head real bad, a brain bleed or whatever, you want to make sure you go to a good hospital if you're on blood thinner, okay? But that's what happened. I'm going to make a video about kind of what happened, and I'm going to put up all the pictures. Pretty graphic. I put them up in posts at first on my YouTube channel, and I kind of got worried because I noticed we're not seeing those kind of pictures or videos much on YouTube. And I thought, geez, I don't want to be flagged for this or something. So I took them down.
Mm.
But I think they are on Oni's Facebook, which is called Life with Oni, the cockatoo. Yeah. And
TikTok
so
is
that's
is
what happened. This is not a rare thing with the big white cockatoos. You
mm-hmm.
know, like especially your umbrellas and your Moluccans. And Jen and I talked about it, and we feel very strongly that the males have more of a propensity to be hormonal or cocky or more animated and so apt to bite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes, honestly, it is just more about like they get overexcited. I mean,
Yeah.
it can be hormones, but it also like, I'll tell Buster, we encourage Buster to get hyped up.
Mhm.
We hype him up and get him going, but then
So
there's
we
this,
can vent.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's a shift, and we know it, and then we'll say, okay, it's chill time,
Same
and
with Bonnie. Yeah.
yeah, we have to do that with him. He needs about 20 minutes of that high energy, whether it be hopping or screaming or whatever. He needs that every single day. But when there reaches a point, and usually, actually, believe it or not, I'm the one that talks him down off the ledge. Like tonight, he was on one, and at the end, I tell him, I'm like, shh, and then he went to his perch, and yeah, it's time to, and but they do need that. But yeah, then there's a time to stop. But in this case, that wasn't it didn't have anything to do with the
That's
high.
why that was so unusual. It caught me off guard. And
Mhm.
the good thing I noticed all the little signals where something was funny, because if I hadn't held him as far and as long as I did, it probably would have been much worse.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but
Um,
yeah.
I was gonna say TikTok is a good place to post those as well.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Okay. He
Yeah,
has a TikTok. I just never use it.
yeah. But they wouldn't flag you or anything like that, and that would
Yeah,
be
it's
a
still a
good.
little bit of the Wild West there, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Um, so, I had to take my hat off, and I don't know if you see me digging. Whatever that's made of has got me like like all red back here, I
Oh,
guess.
no.
I don't know what it is. I guess the felt. I don't know. So I'm still an elf. I just am not gonna wear my hat.
You just lay it on top of you.
Yeah. um, but we did discuss too that quite often the hey everybody that the females um, are not typically like that. I'm not saying that they don't bite or they don't, but it doesn't seem to me as though they are that aggressive. I've never had one, but people I know that have them, they seem to be sweet or
Yeah, that's what I've
sweeter.
seen.
Hmm.
I don't want to dissuade anybody from adopting. The thing is, when you go to a shelter, a lot of times they really know their personality already. They know their history. The bad thing about getting a baby like I did is you don't know what you're going to get. All babies are sweet and cute and puffy, but we
Hmm.
don't know what they're going to grow up into, because they
Right.
are wild animals and nature trumps nurture, sadly. So you can do everything right and you can have things go wrong, like with Bonnie.
Mm.
But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I mean, Buster, he's when we were trying to get him to be able to fly, he almost got my face twice. And he
ooh,
also was going into windows and about knocked himself out one time. He got out and got up on top of our roof. Um, that's why we had to make the decision he had to stay clipped. But he
yeah,
can't fly right either. But if he can just get a teensy bit of a lift, he's very aggressive towards me and he goes for my face. Um, Especially like if I'm on the phone. The one time I was talking to my daughter, it's the daughter that both the birds like really love so much. And he came right at my face and he made a scream that I've never heard him make since. Um, so there's just certain things that flip a switch. Um, they're very bipolar. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
very
that's
schizo. They're like
yeah.
fine one second and for no, who knows what goes on in their little emotional brains.
Mhm,
Cockatoos do have a high emotional IQ, is what I read. I
mhm.
don't know what an emotional IQ is, though. I don't know what that is,
I don't either, but I mean,
but it's very high. Like, like we're talking a child, not even a baby, but a child.
have you ever heard of a stage 5 clinger? You ever heard that phrase? They're a stage 5 clinger. Means they're
Mm,
like really clingy. I think that cockatoos are probably stage 10 or above. Um,
yeah.
one of my
Get
daughters,
get a mini too, you guys. Get a
yeah,
cockatiel.
cockatiels are sweet.
Because if they do bite, there's no damage,
No.
and usually they don't. They kind of give these weird warning nips and
Mhm.
chewies, and it's hard
Yeah.
to describe.
Yeah.
But we clip Sonny's wings because he will bash himself into the
Yeah.
window and all kinds of bad things. So, and we noticed that
Back, back.
when he had his clip, oh, he's sweet as honey.
Yeah.
When he's growing them out and he could fly a little bit, yeah,
Yeah.
he gets real saucy.
Mhm. Yeah. Now Percy, and he's doing great, by the way. I clipped him I always clip any animal I get at first because if they get out and fly away, you can't find them. They don't know where to come home to because they're not adjusted to your home. So when he first started flying again, he didn't do so well. So we did a soft clip,
Mhm.
and then he was able to learn. He flies really well. And now he gets to be out like all day and fly around the house, which is wonderful. And he did accept the little boy and their buddies. So I got
Aw.
really cute videos, and he also loves the little girls very much.
How old do you think Percy is?
Well, by what I was told, he would be 5 next year. I don't know what month or anything, but that's what I was told.
Mm,
I kind of felt like maybe they lied to me, but he's still
yeah,
learning words. And I think you and Kondo both said he wouldn't be learning words if he was older. So
yeah.
I don't know. Because he's still learning new words.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
He'll probably learn a lot now that he's really
well,
out with somebody all the time.
the other one talks as well.
Oh,
Um, so I don't know that he really says as much as Percy, but he does. He's younger, I think. I think he's maybe 2. And he's um they're starting to learn each other's little words too. It's pretty cute. Because Percy does pick up on stuff pretty quickly. Yeah. But yes, cockatiels is what I recommend. But then what are you supposed to do when you have one and they're so bonded to a, a family member? Um, Buster
yeah.
is so bonded to Ken, it would be it terrifies me.
Yeah, that's like a lot of people are saying, Ani's too dangerous at this point because he's gone after me so many times. And, all I have as the answer is we're committed to him. We
Mhm.
were prepared if the cockatoo goes bad. And so we're committed to him. And one of the things that upsets me is the thought of him going to a sanctuary and being in a cage and a noisy aviary.
Mhm.
And he's used to a family. He's used to having a home and
Mhm.
friends and being bonded to Scott. And as far as finding a nice home for him, nobody's going to be able to handle him.
Mhm.
It's nobody's gonna be able to handle a biter like that.
Mhm.
So we're stuck for now, and all we
Mhm.
can do is hope is as the years tick on, for his
So,
sake, I pray he gets better.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because he's almost driving himself mad in a sense. Um, but like you said, you know, I feel like Buster is like there's not many cockatoos in my opinion. Now I can't see you, sorry. Um, there's not many cockatoos really that talk like he does. And
No.
and I'm not saying that to brag in any form or fashion. There's not many cockatoos that do their dancy feet like like Ani. Um, But I mean, Buster, the way he talks and verbalize, he doesn't always make sense or complete a sentence, but I don't either. So, but the way he sings songs and the way, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of umbrellas like that. And that's something that always worries me as well, that what if something happened, you know? So,
Yeah, we had when we got him, we had plans A through D as far as people and ages of where he would go. Otherwise, I would not have gotten him. But
mhm.
when he's bad like this, they can't have him. You
Yeah.
know, he's stuck.
Mhm.
So
That's the
everybody I had lined up, including little tiny girls for when they're adults, you
mhm.
know, they can't have them now.
Yeah, I basically went through the same thing because there was a couple of mine that were like, "Yeah, you know, we'll take them," and now they're like, "No." Um,
And
because even though he does love the kids, he has bitten on every one of them just about, I think.
really,
I don't think he's gotten my youngest daughter, but she moved, um, like 2,000 miles away, like, shortly after we moved here because she got married and moved away. So I don't think he's ever gotten her, but he's gotten the rest of them.
Mhm.
And he could just be, I don't know, he can be weird, but the biggest thing is he's very possessive of Ken. Um,
Yeah,
you know, he all weekend long, Ken and I slept in one morning. I mean, we still like turned their light on and uncovered, but we wanted to sleep in. We were tired. We don't get much sleep. So he really was kind of in his room longer than he's accustomed to. And I'm gonna tell you what, he was a pistol. He was awful. He was terrible. He screamed the whole morning in his cage while we were trying to rest. And then he acted like a fool through the day, chasing me around the kitchen, trying to.
well, I know. Erin's like, can I? She knows that she cannot come over till after 10. That gives
Mhm,
me time to get up, and I have to tiptoe. I can't flush the toilet. He can't. Ani can't know I'm awake, or he
mhm,
gets impatient with me. And when I go in there, he's mad. So
mhm,
I have to tiptoe and be real quiet and get ready, and then I go in there and let him out, and he sits quietly with me out of his cage, and that can
mhm,
last half an hour, can last 2 hours, you know, but
mhm.
that's the only time I get to spend with him. But if that gets disrupted, you know,
Yep.
there's been a few times where I've gone to let him out and I run and
Mhm.
he's just free in the
Yeah.
sunroom till later in the afternoon when he's forgotten that he's ticked off.
You need to get steel walls and have Ken build you one of those doors like he built me. You know, the Buster door. Have you seen that one?
No.
He built a door that and Buster can't chew through the metal. He'd use some sort of metal. He tries, but he hasn't been able to. And he framed out a door, and it has stoppers on it, and I can slide it over and push it in, and then he's just in his room. He's out of his cage, but he has free range in that room.
Mhm.
And when I clean and things like that, I have to put him in there because he will flog me. I mean, he will absolutely flog me. I cannot sweep. I cannot vacuum. I mean, I even have to really watch my back when I'm doing the dishes because any type of housework I try to do, he wants to get me. So,
I'm so glad you can film him because I can't film Ani anymore, you know? He
mhm,
gets that when he's out, if he sees the phone, he gets jealous of anything I touch. If I
mhm,
touch a toy, if I touch a TV controller, the camera or whatever, he attacks. He gets really jealous of that stuff in my hands.
yeah,
Sonny gets jealous of the keyboard. He sees me, I guess he thinks I'm petting the keyboard, and he jumps on there and he does the harmonic on me,
that's cute.
angry.
Yeah. Percy was like that with my earbuds. He would peck them. And it's like he didn't like my AirPods or whatever, and he would just peck, peck, peck on them. And then sometimes he'd miss and get my ear, and I was like, Percy. Uh, but
One of the little cockatoos, what is it? The what are the ones with the bald eyes?
Bear,
Bare-eyed cockatoos and goffins and ducors. They're all the same size and they have similar personalities, except I find that the bare eyes are a little bit even more either smarter or hyper than the other two.
Hmm.
But I don't know how bitey or not they are.
Well, the bear-eyed, I don't know, but most of the bear-eyeds, I mean, of course, like Eric the Legend, but aren't they prone to like health problems? Because it seems like I only see about two of them, and it seems like both of them have health issues.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I absolutely love the dolphins. I decided I was actually going to go meet a dolphin, and I just decided, even though they're fun,
Mhm.
that it was just too much energy for me because I think they have more hype. Um,
They do. I'll never forget when I brought Tika home, who was a dolphin that we had owned in the past. And, I had all these ideas. I see pictures of parrots sitting on a perch. I see cockatoos sitting on a cage. So we get her and I put her on her cage and she runs down onto a couch or something, then onto the blinds, and I'm running after her. I'm like, no, okay, you can sit here. Nope, she runs, she's on the floor, and doing this. And then I'm like, okay, I'll hold you. Nope. And it was really, really bad for a long time. And I remember in the kitchen one time just holding my face and rubbing my head and going, what did I do? What did I do? I had such cold feet and such regret. She, but she was a baby, and she took about a year or so, and then that all stopped.
mhm,
But I notice when I go into Bird Paradise in New Jersey, they have all the birds loose. And you have to be careful where you walk and what you touch because the dolphins are just everywhere. They're
mm,
on the ground, you can trip on them, they're on a shelf, and none of their other parrots do that. None
mhm.
of them.
Yeah. I mean, I love to watch them. But I just decided it was too much for me. Um, they're just they have a lot of and Buster has a lot of energy, but he also has I know how to wear him out, and he also has very chill time as well, you know. Um, and so that's that, and I don't think you can wear a dolphin out. I think they're just
I don't think so either.
yeah.
I wonder what rose breasted or gloss
Well,
are like.
sorry, Kondo just mentioned that there are a lot. I think he means like size wise, and but they're a little more chill. But see, I know a male of lady on Instagram.
A male lady?
I'm sorry, I know a lady that has a male crest or the rose crested, and
Okay.
for a little while he was plucking, but they got him to stop, and he hasn't done it since. He was a little neurotic and I think it was really through his first hormone cycle because they got him as a baby.
He has a lot of pluck. Have you outside of that?
Not a lot of them. Mm-mm. No, but he had a little infection and they treated that, and but he had gotten kind of neurotic about it. But it was his first hormone season, if I remember correctly. But now he can be a little nippy, but he seems really sweet and he can chill. Mannerisms. Okay. Yeah, they're more laid back is what Condo's saying. Uh,
Oh, okay.
but I
Okay.
think they're about the same size as a golfin too, though. Am I right,
Little
Condo?
bit smaller,
Are
actually.
they a little smaller? So I've
Just
never
a
seen
just a
one.
little bit.
Mhm,
Mhm.
I've never seen one in person. So, um,
Yeah, I was really taken back by that. I always thought they were bigger,
yeah.
you know. But when I see them in stores, I'm just like, wow, they're a little bit small.
Mhm. Yeah. Now I can never say it correctly, but the next size up that starts with a M, Pebbles is one.
Moluccan.
Yes. Now, I have been told I bought a cage from a lady that had a female that had just passed away, and she said she was an absolute sweetheart. But I've seen both sides of the aisle on that one, and I feel like male or female, they can be either way.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know.
Pebble looks like a handful, and
Yeah,
she's a female.
she's been through a lot. Uncle's here. Uncle has a sweet little umbrella female cockatoo. We're very jealous, Uncle. We're very jealous. Oh, um, but also, like, I want to take this time to one. I'm really glad you're doing okay. Um, I support you. You know that, and you have so many other people that absolutely support you. Um, and I highly respect. This is one of the things I've always respected about you is that you do try to show both sides. It's for me like Buster is really a comical bird. So is Ani, but it's important to show both sides of the aisle. There's a east and a west.
Yeah, yeah.
um, and I applaud you for doing that because it is very important because you need to know that going into it. Um, it's extremely important.
Yeah, because I don't know about you. I didn't know going into here. I had a Goffin for 6 years. I had been around groups that have all kinds of cockatoos. Thought I knew most everything about umbrella cockatoos, and
Hmm.
nobody in any group or any article mentioned that females might be milder than the males.
Hmm.
When you ask people, is there a difference? No, there's no difference. They're all different and everything. And or they might say, well, the males are a little bit more hormonal or cockier. Well, what does that mean?
Hmm.
And so yeah, I found out what it means.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So I mean, it is very very important to share the truth of it all. And I think one of the nice things about doing Wings Out is that we can talk about a variety of things, but also that this can happen to you. This can happen to you with an African gray. Honestly, an African gray could split your lip, you know, but are they most likely to? Probably not. Um, but they could, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know that they don't have the PSI. I know that umbrellas do, but they definitely could split a lip.
Interestingly, one of the nurses that tended to me, he said that a umbrella cockatoo broke his finger.
Hmm. Oh, I believe it. I
I
believe.
was like, wow.
Well, have you ever given Ani a chicken bone? They can.
Yeah, or a big piece of wood or a steel
Mhm.
seam. Yeah.
Yeah, because cockatoos are not like dogs. They can have a cooked chicken bone. In fact, the marrow, however you say it, is good for them. And I mean, when you see Buster be able to crack open a chicken leg, it's like, dang. It's like, dang, that was not the tendon that you take when you when you process a chicken. That was bone, actual bone. Yeah. Hogs can do that too. Yeah.
Oh, wine time. Okay.
Yep. But so again, I think we want to reiterate um cockatiels are the best cockatoo to have as a pet.
They're better than any other bird I
Yeah.
know.
I think Kristen, if you're still on here, do you have an umbrella or do you have a Malaccan? I hope I said that right. Kristen and Kelly Sue. I can't remember if hers is a yeah. Well, not Buster. Um, Buster will eat either.
There's Kristen.
Yeah, she'll probably answer here in a second. I think she has a Malak. I can't say it. I just mess it up every daggone time. But I think that's what she has. But she likes to watch Buster.
Yeah,
um,
she says they're bipolar and they can have a bad
mhm.
attitude.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I that's what I had a friend tell me. She had a Moluccan and she's told me the same thing. She said they're very schizo.
She said,
She's like, you're fine. You walk by a doorway, shoom, and they like grab the frame and choop,
mhm.
you know.
See, that's the rare case where it seems to me, and again, I'm judging this off of what I see on YouTube and what I read in stories. It seems to me that the Moroccan, sorry if I mispronounced, male and female can be neurotic or good. Like it's a shift. Whereas most of the female umbrellas I've seen are seem to be sweet. I'm sure there's one out there that's not or more,
Hmm.
but compared to the males, they seem sweeter. But they're more. Well, I think females are more prone to pluck in any cockatoo species.
I didn't get a female for two reasons. One, I was so destroyed by Tika. I didn't If I got a cockatoo, I didn't want anything remotely like her. So didn't want a female, didn't want a goffin. And the other reason is Scott and I are scared about being egg bound.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have lost cockatoos
Yeah.
because they got egg bound.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That scares me. So
My father-in-law actually had a cockatiel. So story time real quick. My father-in-law lived in Florida, and this before he came, before he came to live with us. And I don't know what kind of parrot it was, but a parrot showed up at at his apartment one day. Just somebody let it out, and he said it was a bigger bird, but it wasn't. Anyway, he didn't have a cage for it, but he loved that bird, fell in love with that bird. The bird loved him. And he came home from work one day and the parrot had flown into the glass window and it killed itself. Like it injured itself and it died. He was absolutely devastated. So when we went down for our daughter's wish trip in Florida, we were there, we went and bought him um a cockatiel, and we were told it was a male, and he named him Mo. But then he moved to Ohio with us when he retired, and brought Mo, and ended up Mo was a female, and she laid eggs chronically. Back then, they did not have like the Deslorian implants that they have now that can help the females laying. And unfortunately, she passed away from being egg
that's what
bound. She
Scott
was
and I were scared of. Even my dragons, my bearded dragons I've ever had, I won't have a female because that'd be a big and I'm like, no, 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 no.
yeah. Um, So that's they are the females. That was one of the reasons that I preferred really not to go with a female. I did have a female gray and I did have a female parakeet for a short time that ended up bonding with my parakeet, and I couldn't keep them both. So I rehomed. They actually moved to Ohio, but they're doing wonderful. I get updates on them sometimes too. Um, but I had a couple emergency. A lady came to buy a cage for me one day and said, "Will you take my parakeet?" My cockatiel's trying to kill him, which I don't really believe that, but I was
Yeah.
like, sure, even if I find him a home, I'll take him to keep him out of danger. But yeah, and then he ended up bothering or bonding with another rescue I brought in under an emergency, and I rehomed him together because they bonded to each other. So yeah, um,
Baby, the female umbrella cockatoo that used to FaceTime Onni and send stuff back and forth. She almost died from being egg bound, and it was so sudden. Her mother came home from work and she was about dead. She had to rush her to the vet. Yeah, it was scary.
does she get the implant now, or were they just able to stop it?
Baby has passed away, and I
Oh,
don't know why. She
hmm,
passed away a few years ago,
oh, okay,
and I
okay,
don't know. I've never asked why.
yeah.
So, so she
Um,
was a sweetheart. She never even nipped, you
oh,
know,
yeah.
never even nipped, and she would just chill, just the perfect bird.
Yeah. Oh, I understand Kristen, because Kristen said she didn't want a female, but she chose them. I think that's another important topic to bring up is, I mean, and I'm not saying anything about wrong with getting you know, a, a baby or whatever. But I do think it's cool if you work with a rescue or if you're looking for one and you go meet them. A parent really does choose you,
Yes.
you know, and I think that's what's wrong with us. I chose Buster, but Buster didn't choose me. And I had to come to accept that. And it was really difficult. And I think that's another thing that we try to put out there. Like they choose their person. And once they do, that's their person and their person only, not
Yeah.
yours, not
Yeah.
theirs. It's theirs. And I think that's a really important. I'm glad you really brought that up, Kristen, because that's a very big point. You
That's why
might
we
have.
think Sunny is just insanely awesome, is because I went to get a cockatiel and we were in the store and I'm looking at them and I saw these beautiful, pearls and pied. And I'm like, oh, they're so pretty. And I'm going to pick them up. And Sunny goes bloop on my arm. And I'm like, gray. That's so plain. And I take them off and, go after another one. Bloop. And I'm like, Scott, you believe this bird? And I put him back, and these two bird people, they had ring necks on them, came running up to me because they saw it all happening. They said, oh no, you have to get that bird. And I said, what? I said, he's not what I want. I was like, he's just a gray, And they said, no, no, that is exceptional. When they pick you like that
Mhm.
much, you have to get that bird. Thank God I listened to them.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Cafe Cat had a question. She wanted us to explain egg bound, but I think
You
you're more
wanted us to what?
explain what egg bound means.
Go ahead.
I was just you're more intelligent. It's so females sometimes. So okay, birds do not have to be bred to lay eggs, unlike some other species that have to lay with a male. They're not fertilized, but they can lay eggs at any time, just like a chicken in a way, right? Am I saying it right?
Mhm.
But sometimes, whether it be hormonal or just becomes neurotic or OCD-ish, whatever, they'll just lay and lay and lay until they're where the way it comes out just becomes I isn't it doesn't it get like inflamed? Condo, where are you
I
at?
don't know what causes it.
I think
Exactly. I don't know the process.
I think that it happens because I think they get like swelling. Let me look up.
Okay.
Um, well, because I
And something can happen too while they're bound. The egg can actually break. And
yeah,
if it
that's what
breaks inside of them, they die pretty much. They're hard to save.
um
Egg bound is
okay,
when an egg is too big to pass.
it says
However,
egg
the egg
there is a
breaks trying
female
to come
until
out. It can poison them. Right. Yeah.
yeah. Um, I thought it was kind of it, but see, I don't think egg bound just really happens. It's when they chronically lay. Uh,
Okay.
the lack of lubrication, Condo said. That makes sense. But to me, most birds that just are going to lay an egg will lay an egg and they wouldn't get egg bound. But it's when they chronically lay, they're more likely. You okay, Maxie? They're more likely going to become egg bound.
Okay.
Am I right, Condo? Is that yeah? Um, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other.
Cheryl is number 2. Lisa's number 3. Who's number 1 right now? And I still kind of don't understand how you get those little crowns and numbers.
I have
And
no idea.
condos, nothing. Oh, chronic
Okay.
egg laying can dry up the oviduct.
Okay. Okay. See, I thought
That's
it
what
caused
condo
like
says.
an inflammation, which then like shrunk. Do you know what I mean? Like when
Hmm.
something gets inflamed, then it like shrinks the passageway.
Yeah.
But I'm not an avian vet, but I knew Condo would know how to say it. I knew he would nail it. Um, and not all of them do it, but they are more
No.
prone to it.
Yeah.
Um, so
And
yeah.
some cockatoos go years and never lay an egg.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden the lay went, uh-oh, condo. Now I'm not nothing. Thank you.
Now he's number one.
Megan, number 3. Type condo so I can see what it does.
Oh, he can't wait to type. He's
Yeah.
typing in something long.
Type so we can see if it says number 1 next to you.
Yeah. Oh, Max, you okay?
Oh, got a heart. Hi, Leonie.
Oh, now see, Condo's just teasing you now. He won't type anything so that you can't see his crown. Oh, there he is.
There it is, number
Oh
1.
goodness. I have a plant that's called a pothos queen. It's a
Oh,
queen crimson pothos, and she's so beautiful. I bought her a crown. I have a crown wrapped around
you
her.
did not.
I'll show you. Be right back.
Okay. Let's see. I'm scrolling back on the comments.
No, boys, hold on.
Oh, Kristen. I
'Cause she's
can't
so-
believe you did that.
well, it's a queen.
I've never seen a pothos like that.
I'll send you a starter in the spring.
Oh my gosh.
She's wild and unruly like me.
Know what you can do with the regular pothos is you can they can grow in aquariums, like not under the water, but they're just fine. You just hang their roots in there and they'll just grow on top of the aquarium with your fish, and it's really good.
My daughter got me kind of started on the pothos. They grow really easily too.
Yeah,
Most, yeah, but
that's mine.
oh, yours looks nice. I have
Well, guess how old it is?
how
Bet you
old?
can't. 35.
Wow, I have some up here too. I have just like a neon pothos up there. So, but I love monsteras. I also love the monstera plants. Bobo, no. So, they're really nice as well. Oh, I can't see. Kristen said that
I know.
Cockatoo doesn't lay. She's luck. That's good. That's good. But and I don't. Do you know a lot of umbrellas? My things drive me nuts. Do you know not many umbrellas that lay eggs like that? I don't. It's to me. I've seen more teals, Quakers, and Conyers.
Conyers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Those little Myers and Senegals are very one person oriented. We were talking about that.
I love those, but I've heard they're very, very loud. So I always wanted a Senegal.
Thank God I went to like a bird show kind of thing before I chose. Before we got Sunny, we were looking at Conyers, and we were looking at the Sun Conure and the Agenda, and we were considering them. And thank gosh I went to a bird show, because when I went in there, the screaming, and I sat there and I said, "What kind of bird is that?" And they said, "That's a Sun Conure." I was like, Sean being autistic, there's no way we could have done that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we found that out.
If my granddaughter gets to visit, I have to board Earl. There's no way she could handle his sound. There's just no, it kind of freaks her out anyway when he talks to her. Because she's just like, this bird is, because he talks pretty clear, but there's no way she could handle the screeching. The screeching that he does not come across properly as it does in the house. It's very loud. I can hear him at my mailbox. Like I
Really?
can. Yeah, it's extremely, because it does bother Ken quite a bit. So, but yeah.
And Conyers do tend to scream a lot. It's not like some birds, they have bursts of energy where they have little scream sessions, but most of the day they're quiet. But Conyers tend to do a lot through the day. So on top of being loud, but they're awesome little birds.
Yeah.
They say the green cheek conures are not as loud and as
They're
bad
not.
as the other
We
ones.
had one. Actually, ours
Did you?
talked in full sentences. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, he would say, so our kids were pretty young. My daughter was young. She did the homework, she did the work to earn to get one. And she named him Buddy Love after the Eddie Murphy TV show, the professor, whatever, the nutty professor. Um, anyway, he was nippy. He was very nippy. And he would say he wanted to get out of his cage, and we'd say, "You want to get out of your cage?" And he'd nod his head yes. And we'd say, "Are you going to bite the baby?" And he'd say yes. And we'd say, "No, that's bad." So he would get like where he'd say, "I want to get out of my cage." And he'd go, "You going to bite the baby?" "No, that's bad." And every morning when I got the kids up for school, he said every single one of my kids' name. Like, get up, get up, get up. Kendra, get up, get up, get up. It's time for school. So he didn't, I mean, he talked very birdy, like the budgies and stuff. He didn't have some crisp voice like a gray, but he did speak very, very well. So yeah.
I have a friend that she had the great idea of teaching her bird to say, get me out, or let me out, let me out. And that became its favorite phrase. And it would just shout it all the time.
Yeah. 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 So, but, and I know I go back to, we're not trying to discourage anyone from having a bird. We're
No,
trying to encourage you do the right amount of research, maybe volunteer at a rescue. There's so many parrots in a rescue. Even if you want to buy a baby bird, going to a rescue and working there or volunteering there will help you. Like you said, or the bird show. You went to that bird show, you would have never been able to keep the bird you thought you wanted.
nope.
So I always encourage that type, to like, even I didn't do that. And I felt like I really dove in deep before I got what I got. And trust your instinct. I mean, definitely trust your instinct, but yeah.
The great thing about going to a shelter, and this is for ferrets too, you go in there and you have dozens of animals to pick from, all
Hmm.
ages, all colors, all species. And then you have a shelter mom that can tell you each one's exact personality, their past, or whatever. And sometimes shelters get babies. They do,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
sometimes. So, and like
Yeah.
you said, visiting them, you might find one that jumps on you, like Sunny, or whatever, that I couldn't get off me.
The lady that the lady that keeps Earl for me when my daughter can't keep him, and now has Percy. So they just really, they had went to, they used to go to a rescue to donate treats and toys and food. And I guess this gray just really took not just to her husband but to her. And they ended up adopting her, and she was one of those, like, they could hold her upside down. She was like a love bug, which is kind of rare with grays. Some of them are love bugs, but not many. um and she tragically died of like a heart attack at like 28, and
Ooh.
that was like the love of their life. But they did a lot of volunteering throughout the years, so she's very, very, very good with birds, and well knowledgeable of pretty much all of them. But the cockatoos scare her, she told me, but her husband's not afraid of them. I said, well, you have the right to be scared. I'm scared of my cockatoo.
Well, to give people an idea of what a handful cockatoos are, bird tricks, if you've ever seen them on YouTube, they teach you how to train birds. And they can train virtually anything but a cockatoo. The
Yeah.
man does work with them. The woman, she will, Jamie, she will not go near them. She'll stand across the room. She's terrified of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many that they just haven't been able to work through. They contacted me to try and work with Onni, and then they canceled out, and I never heard from them again. And I'm really thinking it's because they dove into my videos and saw that he bites and that how hard he is. I hate to say. I think they probably looked at him and went, don't know if we can help her much.
Mhm.
There was one time I saw them try a cockatoo and they it was a room full of people. It was a class they held, and somebody brought their cockatoo and they put it on the perch and they couldn't get near it. And then the cockatoo decided, I'm going to get on the ground. Everybody had to run because the
Mhm.
cockatoo was trying to bite everybody's feet.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
'cause
they couldn't get it to pick it up or it would bite them. It was
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew she didn't. I know they did a series of where they were trying to work with cockatoos.
Hmm.
Um, I noticed that didn't last very long.
Yeah.
um, I think cockatoos train you to run really fast.
They helped train. It was a Goffin, and that Goffin could do all kinds of tricks. I'm
Hmm.
sure that owner spent inordinate amounts of time with
Hmm.
that bird for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because see, the problem with cockatoos for training is they're not food motivated.
No,
They
no.
they give zero F words.
Yeah,
They want to do what they want to do. They're really intelligent. They're like,
yeah.
I'm
Um,
not going to bow to you just for a nut. You know.
that's how I don't feel like. Well, at least the grays I've had, they were not treat driven either. Like a
No.
cockatiel, they love millet and they will do anything
Um,
for millet and they'll spin or they'll do anything. You hold out millet and you are like king to them. But like cockatoos are not like that. You know,
yeah.
Buster's very particular about what he eats as well. So yeah. Um,
Looking
I'm
at the
not sure what's
comment.
going on in the chat. Let me make sure I didn't miss a message from Amanda.
Now, Uncle, what are you talking about? He says, Amanda, there's 3 or 4. A couple when she was about 6 weeks old. One title, fancy
I
chicken.
he
I
has
have
a
a white fancy crusted chicken.
he
And
has a female umbrella.
ah,
Yeah. He might be talking about his baby. I'm not sure.
mhm.
She's real sweet. Um, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about. Yeah. He
Oh, Amanda. Okay.
yeah, he does mostly things about like knives and got like muzzle loaders. He makes knives. He does some really Uncle's really cool. But he also has a female cockatoo umbrella and a conure, I believe. Um and she's his little cockatoo is sweet. Yeah, he's lucky. Mhm.
He's a
But
knife maker. My son
yeah,
Chet was a knife smith for a while. He lost interest. He went to all the trouble to build a forge. He made tons of knives, and I'm like, "Are you going to sell them? What's going on?" And he just all of a sudden lost interest.
oh, Condo asked
That's
if
my
he
son,
knew.
though. He loses interest in every. He'll do something, do it phenomenally, and then drop it. It
Yeah,
drives us nuts.
I guess Condo asked us if we follow Twinkie because people are accusing her of it being AI, but it's not. But I don't. I'm not familiar with Twinkie.
Twinkie?
Hmm.
No.
Not familiar with that one.
Uh-uh.
I'll have to look. I do try to stay away from AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
You
not.
can't fall anymore, though. I have fallen for so many times. I'll sit there and I look and I'm like, yeah, that's real. I don't see any artifact. I don't see anything funny. And then I always read the comments now. There's a video on Facebook because in the comments they'll tell you somebody will be on there. That's AI, you know,
Hmm.
and it's way out of hand
Out
with
of
the
control.
videos.
Yeah. Kelly Sue, I'm in the same boat. Buster and Earl, even Percy, love the pasta blend that Zupreme made. I would chop it up with a dough roller, like or a gosh, I can't think what it is. Anyway, I would chop it up for Percy, and he would eat it too. but Zupreme quit making their pasta blend. And that's one of the few good foods that Buster and Earl really loved. So
What food? I was trying to read the comments. Which one?
Zupreme pasta blend.
Ah.
They loved it. They didn't love every piece of it. There's like these ones kind of look like a crescent moon.
Mhm.
They didn't really eat those. But the ones that were colored, they had like a red one and another colored one, and they would soak them and make, I call it cockatoo soup. They would
Yeah.
soak them and would eat that. Yeah. But now Earl, since he had started plucking, he won't even eat Zupreme. But
How is that doing, the plucking?
like sometimes I feel like it's better, but other times I feel like he's trying other places. But I definitely know, a little while after he gets his medicine, he definitely feels better. He's not doing the screaming. He's not carrying on. He still
So you
doesn't.
think it's from pain?
That's what the vet says, that it's 100% it's from pain.
Okay.
But he still will not eat anything but seeds and peanuts. And I hate it, but like, and I know people are like, oh, if you just wait, he'll eat something. No, he will not.
No, they
Uh,
won't. They imprint on food.
yeah. And so
That's
I
the
do it
difference.
so that he keeps weight on. Do I like it? No. Do I know that peanuts are bad and will higher his cholesterol? Yes. But they will starve themselves to death. I mean, you'll
Yeah.
back me on that. So unfortunately, it is what it is.
I've
So
even tried, with ferrets, you can switch them. It takes a long time. And what you do is you put a little bit in their regular food and you just keep increasing it over the weeks. Plus you mix it together and the smell and the taste kind of gets. I tried that with birds. I've tried it with Sonny. He don't
mm,
care.
mm,
I try to do the natural little pellets and stuff, and he doesn't care. He'll leave nothing but those pellets and not eat anything.
yeah, yeah.
He'll
See,
eat all around them.
if
Yeah.
Percy had food that he didn't like, he would eat it and then regurgitate it all over,
Um,
almost as if to say to me, like, okay, you want me to eat this crap? You get to clean it up all over the floor.
like a
Uh,
little kid.
yeah. So, um, but yeah, but I'm just trying to keep Earl, you know, calorie driven, and he won't eat much of anything else. He'll eat a little egg here and there. I did get him to eat like a little pumpkin treat one time that was healthy for him. Um, yeah, he's gotten really, we're trying, we're just really trying. Yeah, mine don't really like the fruit blend, Uncle.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
no, no, mine don't really care for the fruit blend. So I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have to start trying different things. Um, oh, yeah. So I, real quick, because I know it's time to go. We were getting some new people, and that's fine. And I don't mind you asking questions. I love it. Engagement is important on YouTube. But
Yeah.
people are asking me again, why does Earl live in his cube? His little cube that he prefers to go around in. He
Yeah, it's like a
doesn't
toy
live in.
cube kind of thing.
So I was sitting there with him at the table when I saw this comment, and I was like, you know what? If Earl lives in a cube, his cube needs an address. So I put an address 12367 Earl Drive or Earl Street.
6'7", 6'7". Have you
I
seen
did
that?
that on purpose. That was on purpose. And I put
Okay, okay.
and I thought, you know what? If people are going to accuse him of living in a cube, they need to send him snacks because he's homeless and he lives in a cube down by the river. So I put his P.O. box and I put he likes snacks, letters, and kids' books because he does love for me to read kids' books to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, Earl should profit off of being accused of living in a cube and being homeless. So, but he has a floofy on his head, which really makes him look homeless, like he's not able to groom himself. has no means. So, but do we want to do one next week, or do you want to wait and up 2 weeks? You want to let me know, and I can put it out on the
Yeah,
channel.
I'll let you know. I'm up for one next week if you want to on your channel. I'm up for that.
Yeah, well, I'll double check my calendar too, but I was thinking you want to talk about is it Deslorian? Is that how you say it? The
I
implant?
don't know how you say it.
Okay.
This Laurelin? I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could, I mean, neither one of us are experts on it, but you are trying it.
Yeah.
Some of the other options that I can talk about what they've tried to do with Earl with the antidepressant and then the meds he's on now for his pain. But honestly, Ani is in pain with his hormones. Earl is in pain with his arthritis. So it could be a good topic just to go over
Yeah.
some of
And
the
I
things.
know Ani is in his own kind of pain as far as I don't know if it's like too much energy that he has or anxiety, but I know when we put him on medicine for anxiety and everything, he was a different animal. I mean, he still would bite me or whatever, but his eyes were more relaxed. He didn't scream. He'd walk around and play with things, and it just killed me. I couldn't keep giving him the medicine.
Yeah.
Because I even tried forcing him where he's in a towel and I put the syringe there, boop, syringe is in half. So
That's what I
there's
have.
no way to give him that medicine.
Yeah. Earl has to I have to tell him. I call him burrito boy to get him to take it.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it, but he does it. Buster would probably take meds for Ken, but definitely not for me. So, but we'll discuss it and decide if we can do it next week, and if so, we'll put it out on our channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, everyone, cheers! Thanks for being
Cheers.
here. Appreciate you
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas
And
and
have
a
a good
happy New
week.
Year. Yeah, and Rebecca, I'm glad you've recovered well, and
Thank you.
uh,
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't have been able to drink this a few days ago.
we stand by you. We're with you, so you got this.
Thank you.
So, bye, everybody.
Bye.